You.
We're going live from the Isle of the Dark.
Cheers!
Yes, we're back again. We read the next 3 chapters. We've only got 2 more shows to go. We're at the business end of the book, the real business end. And yeah, got anything you want to say about it, Matilda? What did you think?
Before we start, two
spoilers.
things. One, spoilers. In
Yeah.
case you don't want to know, do be warned. And second of all, we're having a giveaway. Mr. Gray, you mentioned it. Actually, no, Rina, you talk about it.
Oh, okay. Yes, we are doing a giveaway. So on all the shows that these 2 lovely people have done so far, we are giving away 2 prizes, one for each of their channels. One can be a free book, and the other is a free shirt. Haha, I actually came prepared today. So
I forgot to ask, will there be 2 winners or 1 winner and the winner gets to choose? I kind of thought about it last week.
I guess it can just kind of be like 2, like it's probably just like we pick one person, they pick which one they want, and then the second person who wins gets the other prize, like that kind of thing.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, cool. So all you got to do, all you got to do is leave a comment down below. # Isle of the Dark.
Isle of the Dark. Yeah, Mr. Gray, I thought about it. Can you put that in the in a bubble here? The hashtag.
Oh yeah. Okay, yes, I do. Make a banner. Make a banner. You mean? Here you go.
Yeah, leave it up here on the screen for a little bit. So maybe just in case.
Yeah. Right. Let's scroll that across the bottom. Add that banner and show. Hey, here we go. That's the appliance of science. That is. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking on gas. Right, so I got to say, the first of the 3 chapters that we read this time, when it was dealing with Ranger wanted to leave. He wanted to sneak out of camp and go and save Isle. Like, and me and Matilda, like, what fool? Why does he want to do that for? He's crazy. He's impetuous. He's like too much of a hero for his own sake. He needs to rest that bloody leg up of his and so forth. But his friend was like, no, you're not going anywhere. Unless you're not going anywhere without us. So they kind of confronted him and forced him to tell. He's finally come out of his tale, which I found that whole chapter of him going through his history.
What happened? What happened in that chapter again?
This is just before he went. Remember the end of last chapter? He wanted to leave, didn't he?
Right. The ranger tells the story.
Yeah,
for a second there, I completely forgot what happened in the first one.
Yeah, that's when we was getting his backstory. Backstory. And we learned what made him
we
tick.
were right about the lady.
Yeah,
he didn't lose a child, but he lost a love interest.
And very, very early in the relationship as well, and that kind of like broke him. He'd already lost his mother. The story before that was with his mother and how he was raised by a swordsman, similar to how he later raised Quail himself. So we said that there was probably some kind of something gone on there before that made him want to be, protective of Quail, and then maybe protective of Isle later on. And also we find out that his mother was turned into a Datso as well, which explains why he's probably, he hated the Datsos, but I find it quite telling as well. He was given the option: do you want to kill all Datsos? And he was like, no, I don't want to kill all Datsos. I want to protect other people from being turned into Datsos. Yes, that was the 2 options he was given.
And how he regretted that he didn't teach that to Quill.
Maybe, yeah.
He put all his hatred passed on to her.
Yeah, definitely.
Think about it. She could have been a nice lady without bangs on her eyes.
Yeah, her hair keeps falling over her eyes again. I know so much because it's mentioned quite a lot. Her eyes suddenly comes visibly up behind her hair. I keep thinking she's got like that thing from like the Addams Family, or is it Cousin It? The one with all the hair over her face, and that's
I keep imagining it's like the Grudge. The Grudge chick.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. Yeah,
and then she has to lift her. No, every time it's mentioned, all I can think of is she lifts her eyes and like parts the curtain.
I think he's just like a little bit coming over, but it's like I just kind of
the way it's described it looks like the hair is here. Like right here, like up till here. and as we read the book, I kept thinking, that's not a really good haircut choice for a fighter.
No, I thought that as well, but yeah, I think I mean,
not even for a fighter, but it's just it's a stupid choice for anyone. Like you have your hair poking your eyes all day.
Anyway, but that whole first chapter was good. I enjoyed that, finding out about his story, finding out we were correct in our guesses, and that he definitely had some magical blood in him. He was like, I don't know, he's a fourth generation or third generation Asolari.
I think that makes him a fourth generation, no?
Yeah, because his grandfather, then it was his mother, was it? And then she had
no. Before the mother, there was
the mom,
the great grandfather, then the grandfather, then the
there was the great grandfather, the grandfather, then the mom. Oh, by the way, I wanted to ask: is that cat Datso that you show on the T-shirt? Is that the mom?
No, different Datso. No, Queen Kitty, who is the one based off the shirt, is actually just a pure design from Garbage.
After I read that, I thought, oh, is that the mom then on the T-shirts?
Yeah. Well, so at the end,
do you think the mom's still out there? Do you think he ever encounters her? Imagine that.
Maybe. But so at the end of that chapter, he's told their story. They know more about him. He's kind of like feels a bit relieved that he's finally let the cat out of the bag, and like it's probably the way he's kept his emotions pent up for so long. And like they were like, yeah, but we're with you. You know, you're our friend. And, you know, so it's kind of like, lovely feelies kind of chapter. And they come up with a plan. Rather than him going out and risking life and limb, they decide, no, we're going to come with you. We're not going to leave you on your own against this because you mean too much to us for us to let you go off like that. Yeah.
Interesting, though, that they still haven't found a way to heal Ranger's leg. Like, I thought in all the days they would at least give him something to help his leg heal.
Well, really, with something like that, all you got to do is rest it. That's the only thing. Even with modern science, that's all we can do is just rest it, isn't it? And he hasn't got that option.
Yeah, but you think that they would at least try something to get it rested? Hey, Jojo.
Unfortunately, the situation they're in doesn't really lend itself to sitting there with his foot up drinking tea all day.
Ranger's gonna end up a pirate in the end of this. He's gonna lose the leg.
The next book it'll be like what, Peg Leg Ranger.
Peg Leg Ranger.
Yeah. I'm surprised he doesn't go around more on horseback. Now that he's gone beyond the war, he's actually going around more on horseback, which makes more sense because he can fight just as good probably from horseback as he can, probably better from horseback actually. I don't know if they have lances. I suppose they wouldn't have lances as weapons because they'll be quite good against
but then you think. But the problem with that would be the Datso attacking the horse and the horse panicking.
Yeah.
That wouldn't end well probably. I would reckon.
So they come up with a plan involving traps, and it's a bit not sort of like fleshed out to the reader kind of thing. All we know is they have a plan. It involves some traps.
I got a question. Did the use of the word blueprints even exist back then? Because they mentioned they followed Ranger's blueprints, and it's just did blueprints even exist back then? Because when I hear blueprints, I imagine the blue. The actual
paper
you use, like a layout,
maybe.
I think layouts would have been a better phrase because I don't imagine they have blue paper back in that. I mean, I know we shouldn't focus on that too much. It's not like correct time, but still the blueprints. I immediately imagine something modern.
Because I guess I didn't even thought about that. Yeah.
Because when I read that, I was like, "Wait, blueprints?
Blueprints?
Where you guys have blueprints?"
Is a reproduction of a technical drawing or engineering drawing using blah blah blah, introduced by Sir John Herschel in 1842. So maybe they're just ahead of the game in this world. They're not the same.
I must say, then they're not putting their heads in the right place. Coming up with a device like a telephone would have been a better use of their time.
I'm kind of like not surprised, but kind of like it's like although it's a fantasy setting and we have magic in the form of Datsos, like being a magical curse. There's not much other magic apart from that, is there? There's no like other races of magic beings that we know of. There's no like magic healing. There's no wizards.
Not yet.
We we had them in the past. We know they existed in the past, but there's nothing like magic healing balms or magic potions for healing legs or anything like that. So although it is a fantasy, it's like it's not like your common kind of fantasy like Lord of the Rings, like ones that have probably been done a million times before. You've definitely created your own world where it's got like hints of fantasy and the medieval and like, but without like copying too many tropes from ones that have gone before, you know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, everything is copied from everything. I'm sure if we search well enough, we'll find.
Yeah, but I'm saying this. I'm saying this isn't though. I'm saying this isn't because it doesn't rely on magical potions and stuff like that. And you know.
Well, I can think of other fantasies that don't either. To be honest,
no, probably.
One that springs to mind is the dark
classic.
side. One that springs to mind is dark side.
There are probably loads, but I'm just thinking of the well-known ones. Right, and then So then
the idea is unique. You don't have healing bombs, but they also you also think they at least have something. And they kind of do. Wasn't there that whatever that thing is they gave him to drink right after they reunited? Yeah. That went through him and like, oh, what a great feeling.
Yeah, Kurt's got this. Part of the story is related by the narrator, Rina. Blueprints will be her word for the reader, just a fool. Yeah, that's what I kind of think sometimes like that kind of takes me out a little bit. Like I kind of think that you think like whoever's narrating would be like around from that period kind of thing. I remember one point, I think we mentioned it last week, but then I was leading them through the forest like Rudolph or something like that. And I think that's kind of like a Christmas story of our world, like. No, I think they kind of like you kind of. I know exactly what you mean. But to me, it feels like it's a different era. Yeah,
the reindeer
era from what you've imagined the books to be in. But that's just little things. But
I get what you mean, Mr. Brown. But even the narrator would use the terms of the period of the story he was telling about.
Because I've seen other authors like coin phrases where it's like they'll put it in and it makes sense. I don't know if that would be it. Yeah, so it was just a coined phrase that I probably should have thought more about.
Yeah, there's just little things, but it's no big deal.
I mean, it's not. I guess in the long run, it's not that big of a deal, but it does take out of the story. It's like the comic story I read, The Devil's Red Bride, and because they often use slang, a modern slang, it took me out of the story a lot because I see a 16th century setting, and suddenly I get a priest telling me our little temple here.
All right. Right. So, second chapter. Then we're going to move on to the second chapter.
Yeah, I was confused with the times because I wanted to understand what if at least it would have said.
Does he not say of the evening of that day or something like that?
No. I wish it did. I wish it was like at the same time or
I think
later, right here.
Yeah, I don't think that makes an awful lot of it. But actually, it's one of those things that with the dates, I'm not really looking at the dates. I'm not really reading the dates when I'm going. So I'm not really getting like I should probably do that more to get a better idea of the timeline. You know. So
I am following the dates. I'm counting the days. So when that happens with Isle, I was like, but what day is it? Is it like in the time frame of the days, or is it right while Ranger's telling them the story?
According to this, is the next day, isn't it? According to the chapter heading, it's on the next day that we see that he's been caught. So he didn't sort of stay away from them long, but he's been caught. He's been held in the same way with the bands that Ranger was held when he was down there. It's kind of interesting. Like that bar dude, and kind of like getting an idea of their society. I kind of thought they were more feral against them, but it seems to be like they have their own society, like with proper kingship or whatever. I just kind of pictured that he'd come along later and sort of like started forcing them to be.
It's kind of like a coven of vampires, almost, is the feel I got. Because you got the queen, the leader, and you got her henchman, who's Dooney. I'm sure if you pay attention, there are words used in Star Wars that only
probably right. I think it's because of the fact that we're like reading it to be analytical that you kind of pick up things and think things you overthink things. I find that when I'm doing my beer shows, I overthink.
But in some things, it's just, it stands out more. Maybe there are in Star Wars, but It's not like we have a specific time period in Star Wars. We can't even say if Luke's a human. They're just in space. It happens in space. We don't have a year, and the year doesn't matter. And here, since we have a medieval setting, it's like with the Devil's Red Bride, because it's 16th century Japan.
Yeah,
I'm gonna notice
it's kind of not real medieval, though, is it? It's just kind of like, because it's a different world, a different universe. It's not really medieval. It's just
but if you think that there's an alternate timeline, and things happening different, they would at least be, develop their own language and things would develop differently.
Anyway, but so he's captured, and there was a bit like, it's kind of like, I just, because you assume, like, I just assume there's a while they were killing and attacking each other all the time and so forth, and there seems there's a lot more kind of cohesiveness about their organization kind of thing, and
vampire coven.
Yeah, another thing I was quite surprised at, I didn't know about it, because Bardoon wanted to see him change, because apparently not many Datso has actually changed. That's what he said.
Well, he was curious to see him change, but luckily for him, the queen is smarter, and she knew it wouldn't be a good idea.
She stopped him, but the thing was, but the way it was, I'm sure it said this, I've really read it wrong. It said that not many Datsos actually have that change. So most Datsos are stuck in the same shape, are they? But only like very few actually have the ability to change from one shape to another.
Well, it's already established that Isle is different.
Yeah, I know he's different, but I didn't realise that. I just thought that, like, for example, Bardoon, when he gets angry, I thought he'd change into a bigger, nastier monster version of himself.
Yet. Maybe he does.
Well, no, he wouldn't be fascinated about Idle's change if he could do it himself, I wouldn't have thought. So
when you think about it, he would be, if he's like the only one he knows who can change into something else. But he's never encountered another Datso.
I'm sure if he'd encountered no one else who could do it apart from him, that would have been mentioned. He would have said, "Oh, surprised to see another Datso that can change shapes like myself." I'm sure it would have said like that.
Necessarily, that would be smart not to mention that, because then Isle wouldn't know that he can change.
Yeah, no, but it was in his own head that was being said. So in his own head, we would have heard him say, another Datso that can change like me."
Well, not all.
So I'm assuming that none of them, so we know then that regardless, we know that Isle is pretty much alone, or very, very few Datsos you can change from human to Datso form. So I'm assuming the other ones, when they get bitten, they change into a Datso form and they stay like that. I just thought that when they got bitten, they changed into monsterized versions of themselves.
Well, technically, he's not human now, is he?
No, he's Datso. He was human originally, wasn't he? It was originally human.
He changed into a humanoid-looking Datso, though.
No, he changes into a big monstrous thing, doesn't he? With like spikes and
I know. I mean, when Isle was bitten, he, like, unlike Ranger's mom, who turned into this cat creature.
Yeah, that confused me.
He didn't change too much, did he? Now,
because when he goes loco, he changes a lot, doesn't he? He grows in size and everything. When he goes loco, he changes significantly.
I mean, when I was first bitten, when you think about it, all that's weird about him, besides the skin, the eyes, and the horns and tail, are basically the longer arms. But other than that, you can say he's quite humanoid.
Yeah, but then he has that Datso form. But I didn't realize that others couldn't do that. And also when Ranger's mum got bitten and transformed straight away into like a cat-like monster.
And not straight away. It took a couple of days.
But I thought I thought Datsos just like took on the form of what they were, like a more monsterized form. Like, if you was a cat, you'd take on a monstrous cat-like form, and if you was a human, you'd take on a monstrous human-like form. That's what I was picturing. But no, apparently she got bitten and she turned into a cat-like monster. So maybe she was bitten by a cat-like monster, and that made her into a cat-like monster. That's what I'm getting at. Now the transformations and sort of learning more about it,
I mean, to be fair, besides Bardoon, besides Dooney and Isle, there haven't really been encountered any humans who turned into Datso, so you don't know. Maybe sometime they're more humanoid, and other times they become full-on monsters.
I'm assuming then from this, the fact that like when Ranger's mother got beaten, she turned into a monstrous-looking Datsa. Didn't look like human at all after she's been beaten. I'm assuming that some of the ones that we've seen and have possibly were originally humans who have been.
Think about Bardoon. He was bitten by the queen, who was not human at all. So how come he didn't turn into a lizard like that? So then,
no, yeah, I know. I don't know. Maybe there's other factors. Maybe there's other factors. Maybe like it depends on how much poison you get bitten with, or maybe it's got something to do with what's in your heart. Maybe if you're a more pure person, you don't change so monstrous. Maybe, who knows? It's like this is like more. I don't know if we'll ever get to discover these things, but we know.
Well, you can't really call Ranger's mom evil in any way. So
that's true. That's true. So that doesn't hold. So maybe it was the fact that she was bitten by a cat like that. So who knows? Or maybe because she was.
But Bardoon didn't get bitten by a human Datso.
Yeah, I know.
He was the first Datso.
We don't know why he's still humanoid. Then, do we? We've not seen any other humanoid apart from him and
Isle.
And Isle, unless not many people survive the Datso bite. People are more likely to get ripped up and eaten, and so their bodies you don't see so many of their bodies. Maybe that's another possibility.
Perhaps because they often attack to kill and eat, not to create more Datsos.
So it's more people who got away that were bitten and then turned. I suppose were then killed as quickly as possible as they could be by other humans. Yeah, or captured and killed. That was another thing we discovered as well about how he got his role as the Sixth Guardian, because when he finished the winter, he lied about his age so he could like winter and kill as many Datsa as he could over the winter, and then he just decided, I'm going to tour the country off his own back. I suppose he had nothing else to do, he had nothing to go back to. I suppose,
I mean, he had his teacher. I think at the very least he would worry about him. Because his teacher wasn't young. I mean, at the very least he could have come back and visit him at least when it was summer.
Yeah, the thing is, sometimes
I mean, it's a little ungrateful when you think about it. The man took him in, raised him, taught him how to fight, and all he gets is just Ranger not giving a shit about him and leaving. I mean, I get it. He had a lot of tragedy happen.
Yeah,
but you think he'd at least to come back to visit the old man.
Yeah,
and he's never mentioned again. Ranger doesn't say, "Oh, I miss my teacher."
Yeah,
he died a very long time. Fuck him.
Maybe we'll find out about it. Maybe you did visit him once or twice. Who knows? We just haven't been told
yet. I hope so. Or else he's a great quick.
But sometimes when you're so hurt and you're so wounded and you're so sad, you just can't go back and you can't sit still. You can't go back to normality. And I think that's he can't deal with people. He just wanted to travel and find Datsos and kill Datsos wherever he found them.
I know, but at the very least, he could have someone sent him a note or something.
Make a second draft where he sends Christmas cards to him, or he sends Winter Nox cards to him every year. Happy Winter Nox! I killed 5 Datsos this week.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, how are you doing? So that was interesting. So and also Bardoon's trying to use blind games on Isle.
The reason I was bothered about what time it was, because what does that mean? Does that mean that Isle's been unconscious for days, or was he hit with a rock right before they started marching towards the kingdom? Because you remember, Bardoon hits him with a rock to
but then we don't hear from Isle for a while, so he could have woken up the next day for all we know. But he was captured. That's
why I really wanted to know during what time frame that happened. Because in books you get there's something along the lines of at the same time here.
We know this is fairly concurrent because of the chapter shows it to be the morning of the next day, doesn't it? No.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't specify when this happened. It would have been interesting. Was Isle, because it looks like, based on the scene, that he's been in the room for a while, that they've been torturing him for a while. It doesn't seem like they just got him there and they started questioning him. Looks like he's been there for a while. Does that mean they immediately captured him and started, or did it take them some time to capture him?
I'm assuming they could move fairly quickly because it's the next day, next morning, from the conversation that they had when he was trying to leave the gated community to go back to stadium. So I'm assuming it's pretty quick when he was actually captured. And I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean he's been tortured for hours. They tortured him a bit, but I don't think they've been torturing him for that long before that bit came along. I wouldn't have thought so anyway. And then we've got
frugal
10 days later.
Boys.
Oh, it was on page 239. He did end up leaving a note for the mentor guy.
I know you left him a note. I mean later on.
That bit,
At least come back to visit him.
It's not important to the story, though. Let's face it. Come on, this is
no, but I still think Ranger's a dick for that one.
All right, so then we come to the third chapter, then, where they've been underway building traps. Basically, I kind of got a little bit lost in the third chapter. I think.
Yeah, all the trap descriptions and the blueprints were a tad bit confusing.
Yeah, I was
like,
sure
okay, how
what
are
the plan
they?
Is.
Because they were described as huge, and I'm thinking, how are they carrying all that shit to build it there?
They must have carts and
horses. Like this big.
Yeah, they've got carts and horses and stuff, haven't they?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's just also when you think about it, that would have been smart. I mean, I get it. The Datsos have their own plan because it's convenient they weren't attacked immediately. But when you think about it, it wouldn't have been that great of an idea. If there were a lot of Datsos there, they wouldn't be able to build these traps and fight them off.
Yeah,
but when we understand, they took all the materials and they built that stuff there. So it's quite convenient they weren't attacked during all that.
I suppose I think the point that was because normally the Datsos would know that they're safe, like in their own territory, and it wasn't. Until they get to the wall and start fighting the humans. So if they went into their own territory in a place that they're most likely to pass through, or maybe use themselves as bait, like in the middle, and then when the Datsos come charging in, they all get snapped up in traps and so forth. That's what it sounded like. They seemed like to me they were like.
Sorry, finish, Mr. Gray.
That was it, really. That was it.
I know. I was just thinking. You said bait. Maybe what's happening now is that the Datsos that are coming towards them are actually bait. Maybe they're there to attack them, while other Datsos go to the kingdom.
Yeah.
Just think about how quiet it was. Maybe the whole plan is they send a distraction to the humans.
Yeah,
and they're going to. I mean, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm not like too sure what the plan is. The plan isn't fleshed out for the reader. It's like they know what their plan is. Maybe there's some.
I mean, the plan of the Datsos. Maybe the humans, the Datsos they sent to attack the Ranger and all of them are just a distraction, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
While Bardoon and some others. They go from a different direction.
Yeah.
Because think about it. If Bardoon was already there, why not really attack them while they're building all these traps? Yeah, what are they going to do? They're kind of busy with this, and suddenly they get swarmed.
You'd think there would be spies that would be pulled back to Bardoon.
Yeah, like smaller Datsos, or perhaps even a flying one that could be like high from afar.
Well, maybe they're using their new knowledge. Maybe they're using their new knowledge that Datsos have strong sense, and they're masking their sense so that the Datsos aren't so able to find them. Maybe that's what they've done.
Yeah, they could use a lot of the garlic, not garlic. Was it onion or garlic? Garlic root, but the Datsos would still hear the noise of building because they have hammer and nails and do all that. That's not a quiet process.
Yeah, Ranger even mentions how weird it is that everything's so quiet. He's like, I don't get it. What's going on? Yeah.
I'm a bit confused about the plan. That's all I'm going to say. Hopefully, we'll find out what's going to happen. We've got 6 more chapters to go because there's no. there's no reason necessarily for the Datsos to go through that field. I mean, because there's a huge expanse that they can attack at, isn't it? Anywhere where the snow comes down and anywhere where the snow comes down and covers the rosies is a good place for them to attack.
That's why I'm thinking that maybe the Datsos coming toward them now are actually a distraction. While they go charge at them, a lot more Datsos go in a different way and go straight for the kingdom.
Yeah.
You also got to remember that Bardoon is just that kind of he's that kind of guy where he'd plow straight through just to ruin everyone's lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you think there's at least a bit of brain in that head of his?
I suppose he's
thinking, think about it.
Yeah, but maybe, I don't think he's that caring about his troops. He's the sort of person who would sacrifice like 1,000 Datsos.
So he'll sacrifice these, distract the humans while he goes for the kingdom.
And I suppose there's another thing as well. Is like the Queen. We know the Queen has power over other Datsos. We discovered that in the scene where Io was being held. Maybe she could be like mentally commanding them to you do this, so she's...
Yeah, especially the more, the less smart Datsos, probably easier to control their minds, because they're like a hive.
So I think there's still things to discover anyway. I think there's still questions. And that's the thing, it raises questions. And if you wasn't invested and getting into it, then you wouldn't have these questions. They wouldn't be pouring in your head if you wasn't, wanting to know what the answers were, if you know what I mean. So that's a good sign.
We're also being more analytical here.
Yeah, we're being analytical as well. Sometimes we're being over analytical. Sometimes it's just like questions pop up because you want to know the answers, because you're invested kind of in the story. So it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But yeah, I did enjoy his backstory. When I started to read this, oh, good, we're going to get some backstory from Ranger now. We're going to find out what makes him tick, kind of thing. So that was a cool one. I enjoyed that chapter.
I got a message.
So, do you want to go on to what you think is going to happen? Well, it's going to be a big fight, isn't there? There's going to be another
I think there is going to be a fight, but or perhaps what I'm interested in is what Bardoon's going to do with Io. What purpose is he going to give Io? Because, like he said, because Io did have to in the end tell him that Ranger cares too much. That's like the only thing Io actually knew. So I wonder how he's going to use it against Ranger.
I kind of don't sort of go and get that relationship a bit. I kind of get the feeling that the Bardoon doesn't really need Io because he's got loads of Datsos, like savage, monstrous creatures that can infect more people and cause them to become Datsos. I just think he's a sadistic bastard and he's getting a thrill out of messing with Io, to be honest. And also, I think he's inquisitive about what makes Io tick.
Ranger. He's going to use Io to get to Ranger.
Yeah, but I think maybe I don't think he needs to use Io to get to Ranger. He just needs to send an army of that. He doesn't need Io. Why would he need Io? He can just sends 5,000 Datso.
Yeah, but look how you did say sadistic, and look how Ranger reacted when he heard some noise in the woods. He immediately thought that might be Io, and he immediately went.
Yeah, but that's my point. Now I just think Bardoon. I don't think maybe he wants to see if he can find out how to get past the wall and that kind of stuff. But I don't know unless he wants to capture Ranger.
I still think he's going to use Io in some way.
Yeah, unless that's what. Yeah, maybe he wants to use Io to get Ranger because he wants to capture Ranger. Maybe torture him some more. Maybe take him back to it for execution, like he's done with so many Datsos in the past.
It would be fitting. You know what I think? I think in the next 6 chapters, I know we're only doing 3 more next week, but I think in the next 6 chapters, someone is going to step in to perhaps save Ranger's life. Someone is going to step in and get killed instead of Ranger. I think that's going to happen.
I'm assuming what we were thinking about it.
It's not happened yet, yeah.
No.
I think maybe in the next 6 chapters it might happen.
Yeah.
It might.
Here's a thought. Just popped into my head, like as it does when you're talking about these things. Right, Bardoon, he's the king. But he's not in control at all, is he? The Queen is in control. The Queen can control him mentally whenever she wants to. So we're associating these things to Bardoon, and I suppose he has got some of his own agency. But at the back of it, he won't be able to do anything without the Queen say so, and he may well be acting on the Queen's
But she needs him for power, as we learned. She needs him to feed.
There's a bit of
I think she's either too embedded in the earth where she is, and she can't get out of there, perhaps, or not easily.
No, she seems to move around.
Or perhaps the problem. No, I think perhaps the problem is perhaps she needs too much energy. Imagine how big she must be.
That was what I was contemplating. Maybe she wants him to capture Ranger because Ranger, she senses his Acelari heritage and his Acelari blood and energy, and maybe that's why.
But it's already quite dwindled.
It's quite dwindled, but it's still a tasty meal. It's still a tasty energy meal compared to the other. No Acelari blood in them whatsoever. I reckon she senses it.
I don't think so. Also, she can. I think she's that's gonna be a porno one day.
It's not. It's rubbing my belly. I'm rubbing my belly. That's not porno at all. Be quiet. Behave yourself.
Okay, come on. I'm telling you, 10 years from now, I'm gonna call Rina and say, Rina, you won't believe the fan fiction I found. Bardoon, the Queen, and Ranger. Don't reload.
Oh dear. You've gone off on that tangent again, but that's a good possibility. It's a good possibility.
Oh wait, I must mention again, Isle is not wearing pants.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really happy your friend drew him clothed. At least I can have in my imagination that he's wearing pants.
Yeah, this is a good point. No, let's not go back. Let's not revisit that point. I think
not like even Bardoon is fucking dressed.
Can I just say I think you're incorrect. I think what he does when he's about to change, he takes off his little pants, he folds them up, puts them in a little stack like that, and then he changes into a monster. And then when he changes back to the monster, he puts his trousers back on.
It's as convenient as She-Hulk shirt.
That's what I'm going with.
Conveniently turned into a dress. Like the shirt is like this tiny, but no, when she changes, it turns into a covering dress.
Yeah.
Right. It's the spot where you need it to be, right?
Yeah.
Like right.
I like my theory. I like my theory anyway. I reckon the Queen wants to suck Ranger's aura because it's a tasty aura that she doesn't get to taste much of anymore. You know, this.
I think if she wanted to do that, she could have done it when they first captured him because she would have sensed it then.
Maybe she was savoring it. Maybe she was savoring it. That was the next.
Savoring it. How eager she was.
I reckon it's a good theory. It's a good theory.
No, it's just what I'm thinking is with how eager she was to feed from Bardoon in the scene where they were torturing Isle.
But that's.
I think that I don't think she's that patient.
No, maybe not. But I don't know. But I just think like Bardoon, because he's a sadistic bastard. That's why. I think he wants. I think he wants to. I think they want to capture Ranger rather than just kill him. Because if you just want to kill him, they just attack en masse. You know. But he wants to play with Isle's head, and that's why he's trying to get him to betray Ranger. And also he makes him say to him, "Oh, but humans don't care about you. You're one of us." You know, he wants him to deny his human side and accept his Datso side. And also, it's possible they want Ranger even to execute him as an example.
Human side, though.
Who doesn't have a human side?
He doesn't have a human side anymore. He's not human anymore.
No, the more human part of him is his Datso, but there's definitely more human part of him. That's why.
Now he's a full Datso. As far as I thought when we first started, that Isle is a hybrid, a child of a human. And a Datso.
No, he's a full Datso. I think
the drivers outside disagree with you.
But he has the monstrous Datso personality, and he has his more calm, human sidey kind of personality.
Hi, Terry. Hi, Alex.
Anyway, anything else you want to bring up, Matilda or Rina? I think that's going to be next 3 chapters. Going to be a big fight, basically.
I think someone's going to sacrifice themselves to save Ranger, I think.
Yeah.
Stand in the way of Ranger and another Datso, perhaps.
Do you think Isle and Ranger are actually going to meet up? Because at the moment, Isle's tied up, and there's no reason to let him go.
Because of Winter Nox. Winter Nox can only happen after they meet, so there's no way.
So do you think maybe
we know that Isle and Ranger are definitely going to survive. I don't think I'm thinking perhaps there will be no spoilers.
That's not a spoiler. It's just saying something we've already seen. So Bardeen has already demonstrated that so changes camera. Yeah, when we change the voice box. Yeah. I suppose also they can be changed. They can also be put back. Maybe he could maybe rob Isle of his less savage side and make him have be more savage. I mean, who knows what he can do with his energy manipulation powers.
Yeah, but when you think about it, it does look like the queen needs to be pretty close to the Datso, at least to Isle, to control him. She needs to look him in the eye, kind of like with Medusa. You have to look at her in the eye to turn into stone.
Yeah,
so it's not like she can, in her own will, just think of the Datso and control the Datso.
Good luck, Matilda. There's going to be a new book coming soon, a new short story called Isle of Pants Knocks, where Isle gets himself some trousers. Isle of Trouser Knocks, it's going to be called. He's going to go shopping.
That would be great. I expect that to be delivered to my house. Okay. And I want to cover. And I want to cover. I want to cover with Isle wearing pants.
All I can say is that all the prayers will be answered in like the second to last chapter. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And there's
have we hit on some possibilities with what we've said today, or?
Yes and no. Like you, there are some things you dance right around, and there are some other things where it's like two characters. I'm not gonna say which two you mentioned. They do actually go toe to toe, but not quite for the reasons that you had stated.
No.
So, and all I can say is that there's a lot that happens in the next like 3 chapters. Like it's heavy for like the next 3 or 4 chapters before like the last 2 kind of ease back out of it.
All right. Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to finding out how it all...
Mr. Gray, I do think we are right, though. I think we might be right about there not being the big fight yet in this one. Whatever's going to happen, there's still not going to be the charge over the kingdom.
Yeah,
I think that's not going to be in this book.
No, I think there's going to be more. I think there's going to be lots more action. There's got to be much more action. I'm going to say, imagine it's going to be, like I said, a big battle, but not fully resolved.
No, I'm just thinking with Isle Winter Nox, I think what happens is whatever happens in the end of this, after that, they're still preparing for the whole Datso thing. And because of the snow, that's why Isle and Ranger get to still spend time in it. I do think that there's still not going to be the major fight in this one.
No,
there's definitely going to be a fight, but not the major.
Definitely going to be a fight. Yeah, definitely going to be a fight.
But the question is, you think maybe the Queen can in fact command perhaps from afar, and maybe they do that to Isle and send Isle to attack them.
Maybe.
Oh, think about it, because that would force Ranger to have to perhaps even kill him, especially if he sends him in his. What if he sends him in his transformed?
Yeah.
Because when he's transformed, he can't.
No, he doesn't control himself at all. No.
What if he does that and sends him right at them?
I think at the end of it, everyone, maybe a couple of smaller characters will die, but I think the main baddies are going to be alive still, and I reckon the main goodies are going to be alive still. I'm I'm thinking the Datsos are going to be thrown back. Oh, I don't know though. Maybe not. I mean, I'm assuming the Datsos we sort of like cast back and like have to go back to lick their wounds and wait for another year or something. But maybe it's the other way around. Maybe they spill through, and the next book is all about the humans scrambling for survival. Like, who knows? I
cannot confirm nor deny anything.
Oh wait, the sheriff and me.
Sorry.
Yes, Matilda, you have guessed several. All throughout these shows, you have guessed several things.
I'm giving up. I'm going back to reading comics. All right, actually, Bruce, it's going to be a battle royale.
Of reading a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle royal. Not a spoiler. I don't have the book, but you can get the book if you comment down below. Hashtag Isle of the Dark. You'll be put into a draw where you can read it. You can win a copy of the book and a T-shirt if you're lucky. Yeah.
Yes. Just
Matilda. I'm gonna have to go. I might have to go back and watch the shows again. Matilda's guessed 2 of the big secrets, apparently.
Well, I wouldn't say big. I mean, one was just kind of like she said it as a joke.
Okay.
Right. I'm not even sure what the other one is. I'm also gonna have to go back and rewatch because now I've forgotten.
Oh, holy shit! Was I right about someone dying to save Ranger?
Oh, maybe. Who knows?
No, but it was. You said it like 3 shows ago, and you just said it as a complete joke. But if you watch my reaction, I'm like, because you were spot on.
Great. I was a career ruining books for generations.
Okay, then. So, anyone else got anything you want to?
Interesting. I'll have to go back and watch. I wonder what secret. But I'll do it after we finish the book.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I guessed who died.
Oh, maybe.
Don't tell me. It's poor Marco, isn't it? Oh, Marco.
I don't know. We'll find out. We've got 3. One of these characters has got 6 chapters to live, possibly less. We'll find out when we get to it. So next week then.
Great. So what page are we reading to then?
Right, we're on 269.
315.
Up to 315. Yeah, up to 315. We've got to read.
Mom, quit it.
And who is dating?
Just like intense.
Well, we did. Yes, Ranger had a love interest before. I'm glad it's not Marco. I kind of like Marco.
Yeah, we'll find out when we find out, eh?
Okay, so to page 303.
I know once we mentioned.
15.
Wait.
315. Okay, yeah. All right, 315. Got it.
I remember when we mentioned Quail, and she said that Quail doesn't show up too much in the next book. I think she said that. So maybe because she's brown bread. Who knows?
Maybe because she's white?
Oh, so a bit of Cockney rhyming slang for you there. Brown bread.
In the dirt.
Yeah.
I can't say I miss her too much.
Oh well, now she's all right. She's okay. She's got her own.
She is a bit fighty.
She's a bit feisty. I picture her as being the Winter Knox Isle World version of Matilda Gothica. Somehow, I kind of picture her as being. Matilda's hair gets in her face sometimes as well, and she's got that feisty kind of attitude, you know. Yeah.
Oh dear. Now I'm gonna have to go back and see if me and Quill are the same type of bitch.
That's maybe why you don't like her. You don't want two queen bitches in the same place.
Good point. There's only one alpha bitch, and it's gonna be me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, quit it, you guys. Oh my gosh.
Quill's not that bad. She's just a she's a bit too right. She needs a haircut. That too.
Yeah. For God's sake, get a hairband, get an ice band or something like that. Or a bandana.
I think you know what? I think that's why she doesn't like Isle. In later books, Isle jumps on her and cuts her pony off.
Yeah, gives her a bowl cut. Like, cheers, Remy. Thanks for that, mate. Put a comment down below to win to see if you can win a copy of the book. Put a comment down below. Isle of the Dark.
T-shirt.
Oh, a T-shirt, but you can't read a T-shirt. You need a book. I suppose if they get a T-shirt, they'll be like, "My God, I can't wait until I've got the book," and then they'll buy the book. Hopefully, because I can't have a T-shirt about the book. You know, I'll buy the book now, which is good. It's a good way of doing it.
I have to confess that my 2 favorite side plot characters are actually Cliff and Leon. I just Leon is just like, like that kind of good soul, father figure. And Cliff just is that little kid that, like, I'm just going to screw with everything. I have to say,
which one is Cliff again?
Yeah, I was thinking that we don't see that. We don't. Oh, thanks, until you're not allowed to mention the stuff about pants anymore. Okay, we've now been bribed not to mention pants any further. Yeah, the bribe tax is
I'm sorry, Sharon. You're bribing Mr. Gray. He won't mention pants.
I've tried not to for the past 3 weeks.
I got 2 more streams I can bitch about.
I think sometimes you don't always mention every little matter, do you? So he's got to assume that he has put pants on because he's got pants on the cover. He's got a secret pants stash that he digs out every now and again or something like that.
It's like Bruce Banner's pants.
It's like we said before, they don't mention every time someone goes to the toilet or farts or something like that. It doesn't need to be mentioned. Like you can say they don't need to mention that he's wearing pants because it's on the cover. He's wearing pants.
It needs to be mentioned because Ranger sees all the scars on him. So I'm assuming he has to stare at a naked teenage boy.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's just finish. Anyone else got anything they want to add before we go? Next week again, same time, but on Matilda's channel next week.
Yeah.
So everyone make sure. I'm sure everyone's subbed to Matilda already.
Oh wait, Mr. Gray. We need to then after the show for next week, we need to start rounding up some people to join us for the final show.
Yeah, I'm going to start reaching out. That's the point. We're mentioning that now. Reaching out to people. Also, the last show is going to be on my channel. So same time in 2 weeks' time. And we want, if anyone else wants to come in who's read the book, maybe Sharon wants to come in. She might want to come in, and if she's got some thoughts on the book as well, on the story, she could come in if she likes. Or if there's anybody else in the community who's read the book and wants to come in and just chat about whatever to do with the book. What they want to see, maybe what they want to see in the next book, that kind of thing. Maybe what they're expecting and looking forward to in the next book, and what other stories we're going to get.
Let's not put the pressure on Rina.
No, not pressure. We just make it like fantasy creating our own.
I know what I want to see, Rina. I'll tell you right now. I want to see some pants.
just wait till the second to last chapter, Matilda. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Oh dear. Right. Anything else coming up, Matilda? You got anything coming up on your channel you want to talk about?
Oh, actually, Mr. Grant, I was hoping you'd join me now for a short live.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I got a whole really small one I want to show.
No worries,
I can't be fucked to film. I thought of filming, but I can't be asked right now.
Are you going to send me a link?
Yeah, after we finish here.
Okay. And how about you, Rina? You got anything? You got any more book signings? How did your book signing? You had a book signing, didn't you, recently?
It's coming up. Yeah.
It's coming. Rina hasn't went.
No, I haven't had it yet. Right? I was going to say, how did it go? Because I thought you'd had it. I can't remember. When is it? Is it before next week or?
Yeah, it's not this Saturday, but next Saturday. It's on the 20th.
So by the time we do the last show,
how is it going to work? I mean, are they going to? If it's in a shop, are they going to let one person in at a time?
No, their store's a little bit more open, so they do have limited capacity, but there are like groups that are allowed to come in at a time. It's a fairly small store. It's just little and quaint. But they have a table that they set up. So it's like there are counters in the middle, and they set the table off in one of the corners, and it's like a circulation around the store, so you can come back and then come back up around. But yeah, no, I mean, I already have a few people who said that they're going just to come and support and say hi. Cool. So no, I think it's gonna be really good. We're just gonna be there for 4 hours.
So you'll have just done that, but before the last show that we do, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it'll be right before our last show. Yeah.
So you can talk sort of all through it. You can tell us how it went on that last show. Hopefully you'll be able to buy it. And also, did we mention it last week? I can't remember. You got, was it 8 shops in Texas in 1 week selling your book?
Wasn't it 16?
You finished at 16? Sorry?
No, it was 8. Yeah, it was 8 books.
It was 8. Okay, I thought.
I thought I saw 16 on Sharon's post.
Oh, right. That would have been better, but 8's pretty cool. Have you rung every shop in Texas now, or are you still working through it?
No, there's still a few more that I need to call. I had to pause though because I realized that I'm almost out of books.
Oh.
So I had to save like the ones that I have left for the book signing. So I can't send out more between now and the book signing.
Well, so I had to put the book signing. You can do another big advertising campaign. Sold out. Rina's sold out book. You can say before you get some more printed out.
Right.
Yeah, last chance to buy. Get them now, or we'll have more copies.
Can we ask how many you've got through sending out so far, or is that an author secret?
No, I don't have the approximate amount between Isle and Winter Knocks and Tales of the Weird and the Strange.
Okay.
But it's over
a lot, no?
It's over. It is. It's over 650. I know I've sold over 650 just
nice.
Customers and bookstores.
That's cool.
Are you swimming in dollars now?
Well, everything that I have to put back into the business because I have to pay for author copies of my book to have them shipped to me. So that's most of the time where that money goes back into is just getting more copies.
In say like 10 years time, if you happen to be enormous, like swimming in extra cash, just remember the two people who did your first.
Absolutely.
Where is she? Your first reader
remember when you publish new books, send us a signed copy.
When you're rich.
I'm also,
not before then.
I'm also really excited because my next book is pretty much done, and now it's just the matter of just some editing that still needs to finish up. And 8,000. I don't know. I think it's only like 650, 700. I'm not sure though.
Let's just round it up. Let's round it up and call it 1,000. It sounds better.
Yeah,
but 13
sounds better on the presses.
I am between 13 states though. 13 different states carry my books in physical stores, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
Actually, I should press that.
Yeah,
what
and
about
then
other countries you've sent? How many countries have you sent to? How many other countries have you sent to? So you got copies in the UK, you got copies in Israel.
Right.
Well, one copy in Israel.
That's a start, but you can still say
they're in. Yeah. So far,
you know, us Jews, we're tiny.
So far it's been no stores. But it's been like just like selling the books out. It's been Australia, the UK, Israel, Ireland, India, Canada, Mexico.
Ooh,
I feel like there's another one that is escaping my brain right now.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You've got
Mexico,
every corner of the world.
Marijuana.
You need to find an Antarctic exploration base where they're doing like scientific experiments in Antarctica. Send a free copy there so you can say that your book is in every single continent in the
continent.
World.
Right.
All right. We're best shoot off then.
Whatever you do, don't send a copy to Whack Comics. They might barbecue it.
Yeah, that's true. Whack Comics. They do some crazy stuff. All right, thanks for coming on, Rina.
Thank you.
Remember, guys, enter the giveaway.
Yeah, enter the giveaway. Just leave a link down below. # Isle of the Dark. Isle of the what? Isle of the Dark. This thing here. You can win a copy. And cheers for everyone for watching, and especially for the super chats. Most grateful. Thank you for that. And we'll see you all next week on Matilda's channel. Bye everyone. Bye.